Get ready to get sticky. Sticky Situations is sponsored by Corona Crush. Corona Crush is creating Jewish couples always. Join the Facebook group. Just search Corona Crush and look out for virtual speed dating events happening every other week. They're 100% free and 100% Jewish. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Sticky Situations. I'm your host, Rachel, which obviously you already know because I'm unforgettable. Everyone, right now, whatever platform you're listening on, if you're not already subscribed or following, go give us a subscribe or follow. Give us a 5-star rating and a glowing review. Nice reviews only, please. Everyone, go follow Sticky Situations Pod on Instagram, follow Sticky Situations Pod on TikTok. Whether I post or not, just follow, just in case one day I do decide to post. Social media is not really my thing, but sometimes maybe one day it could be. So you want to be following along. If you are interested in being a guest on my podcast, I am always looking for more guests. We're getting up there in numbers, guys. My goal is to get to 100 episodes at least, or until I get married, or both. So I need more guests. I want to hear your stories. It's fun. Coming on the podcast is fun. So either there are applications in all of my Corona Crush posts, or you can send me a DM on Instagram at Sticky Situations Pod, or send me an email at stickysituationspod@gmail.com. Same goes for if you would like to date any of my single guests. If somebody sounds interesting to you, send me a message, send me an email. I'm always no guarantees or promises, but I'm always willing to try to set it up. So yeah, so send me a message. Okay, everyone, I have an extra special guest today. Please welcome my friend David. David, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, thanks for being here. David, before we get started with all of your stories and discussion and everything, can you tell me and my listeners just 4 basic facts about yourself: your age, location, relationship status, and religious denomination?
Age is 34. Location is Los Angeles. Religious denomination is modern Orthodox. And dating status is very single.
Okay. So should we jump right in? Do you want to start with the story?
Sure. I actually, first of all, it's crazy to hear you do the intro and not be listening to the podcast. It felt like I was listening to the podcast. It was like so spot on. That was
Thank
like,
you.
yeah,
Thank
it
you.
was,
I've had
it was amazing.
friends I've had friends actually at Shabbat meals be like, "Can you just like do the intro on the spot?" And I do it and they're like mind blown
Yeah.
and I'm like,
I thought it was a re-recording every time, and then I just heard you do it on the spot, and I was like, okay, she's like got it locked in.
this is like 80 something episodes, so
Yeah. Um, so dating story, I feel like it's more fun to tell the crazy stories, right, than like the good ones, because like I don't know, it's just more fun. But one that came to mind was a couple of years ago. I was like, I've matched with this girl on Hinge, and I was going through like a pretty crazy time in my life. Just some like family stuff was going on. It was like very fresh, like some family stuff. And I'd just gotten back to LA, and I definitely shouldn't have mentally been going on a date at all. And we went to, here's the thing that's like kind of confusing to me. It's like, I feel like if you look at my Hinge profile and then you see me in person, it's the exact same there's like no, I mean, obviously men don't really wear makeup. Like I've never used Facetune or whatever. Like whatever you see on the app is exactly what you get. And she pulled up to the date, and I saw her have this like instant like look of like disappointment. And it was like I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is not good. Um, and then I tried to like then I was just like on guard for the rest of the date. I was like, oh, I have to like now I have to impress her and like whatever. Something isn't aligning. I don't know, maybe she thought I was taller, maybe she thought I was more attractive. I'll say this, she was literally the most attractive woman I've ever been on a date with. So that was like already like super intimidated. What ended up happening was she seemed very bored, and we walked around. We were in the like the promenade. It's like Venice Beach area. They have all these like little shops or whatever. And 10, 15 minutes in the date, we eat some food and we go on a walk. And she was like, can I tell you something? And I was like, and then she's like, actually forget it. And I was like, no, no. I was like, I'm a big boy. I can handle it. What's up? And she was like, I forgot how she phrased it because it was already a couple of years ago and I was literally in the midst of like full blown trauma. But she said something like, I don't know if she said there's not chemistry here, but she was like, I'm not, she literally was just like, I'm not attracted to you or something.
Oh
And it was
wow.
just like it was like a full blown like punch in the gut. It was like it just hurt. It like physically hurt, and I was like, okay, how do we proceed here? Like obviously there's nothing here. And then she was like, oh, I really want to get a new pair of Birkenstocks, and the store was right there. She's like, do you want to go to the store with me? I was like, sure. And then we walked into the store, and then like a salesperson started talking with her, and like I think they were flirting. And, like maybe I was like, what's happening? And then like she just fully ignored me, and then at that point, I like all hit me at once. I was like, what am I? Why am I here? Like, what am I doing? So I looked at her. I was like, I'm gonna go, right? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And that, yeah, that was probably the worst date I'd ever been on.
Listen, at least she was honest. How long was it before she like said anything?
I'd say like 20 minutes, but with her
Oh
facial
wow.
expression instantly, it was like way sooner.
That's also it's kind of crazy. I mean, like you're not hideous. I don't know if you were hideous back
Thank
then.
you. Maybe it was the trauma was written on my. I don't know. Um, no, it's crazy because like there's a way to do that, and she didn't do it the right way. I think. I mean, look, I do appreciate honesty. I think transparency is like the most important thing in a relationship, let alone a date. But
Yeah.
there's a way to do that, and I don't think she navigated it. And like she could have just been like stuck out an extra 30 minutes, and be like, hey, I gotta go, whatever. But that was one
Yeah.
that came.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like I felt that when I've gotten to dates before, but I would never do that. Also, I don't know. For me personally, I think my attraction to someone can grow as I get to know them. And like, okay, if I get to the date and they're like totally socially off, totally weird looking, totally like not it at all, then fine. I like can't hide that. But if they're like a normal person,
Yeah,
I don't know. That's so weird.
there's this weird etiquette of like feigning it's like feigning in not interest, but like I don't know, you just let's say you get to a date and right away you're not attracted to the person, which has happened a ton for me. It's like at least have a you kind of owe them at that point like an hour long like, hey, let's see if there's anything here conversation. And
Yeah.
if there's nothing there, then like okay, it is what it is. But to like go up and be like instant non-attraction and like 20 minutes in to be like, hey, this isn't for me. I don't know. Maybe you're saving both of yourselves time, and maybe it is like the right move. But that's a tough thing to pull off, honestly, and not hurt the other person or make them feel shitty.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't think you ever owe anyone anything, especially with dating. But I think if the only time I like support getting up and leaving a date is when like the person is not treating you nicely or things are
Sure.
going badly. Like, personally, the only time I've ever gotten up at from a date, which it wasn't even early, but I think we had been sitting there for like 45 minutes already,
Mhm.
was when like I didn't like what he was saying to me and I was over it. So,
Yeah, if someone's being like overtly not nice or like yucky or whatever the thing is, like yeah, you have every right to be like, hey, I'm good. Like yeah.
yeah.
But
But
I agree. No, the truth is you don't owe anyone anything. That is true. There's just an implied like kindness, I guess, and like just don't be a dick. Really is like kind of what it comes down to.
yeah, I agree. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you at least didn't waste that much time.
On that date,
Yeah.
no. But you want to know something really weird? On the way home from that date, first of all, I went on that date on like it was like a Monday at like in the afternoon, and I drove from where I live to Venice, which is like an hour drive, 45-minute drive. And on the way home on the 405, the highway, I saw my ex-girlfriend driving, which like the odds of that are like in LA are like incredibly low. Like it's just such a I don't know her schedule. I hadn't seen her in years at that point. And then I saw her and I was just like, what is the world trying to tell? It was really strange. It was a very strange day.
No, that sounds like a weird day.
Yeah. So yeah, that was definitely a rough one that came to mind.
Yeah. Do you want to tell another one?
Sure. This is just like one that came to mind when I was thinking of like ridiculous dates. So I had after the last girl I dated, I took a year off of date. So I've been single for 4 years, and I've gotten a lot more religious in the last 4 years. So the dating pool has narrowed a lot just because of like I kind of want to I really want to date someone who keeps Shabbos, but
Yeah.
like if she doesn't, that's not a deal breaker because like I only started keeping Shabbos a year and a half ago. But like, if a girl goes, "Hey, I'm never gonna keep Shabbos," it makes no sense for us to date.
Yeah.
Um, but that being said, after the year of dating, or sorry, after 4 years of dating, I broke up with this girl, and I took a year off of talking to anybody. I literally didn't even like look at a girl. Like I was just like, I need a year of just like figuring stuff out. And after that year, I did the opposite, and I went ham, and I just like went on literally like 2 dates a week, and they were all like little Hinge coffee dates. They were never like anything crazy. But one of those Hinge coffee dates, I think I actually went on 2 dates in within the span of like a 2 hour thing, which was crazy. I was just like,
Oh, wow.
sure. I was like, I'll meet you, I'll meet you. But the point is, because I didn't care as much about religion, there were so many more people to date, and therefore, whatever. I was like open to like, let's go here, let's go there. So anyway, I went on a date with this girl, and we got coffee, and yeah, this isn't so crazy. She just literally talked about herself the entire time and didn't ask me one question. And it's so wild to be so like unaware, like no, so not self-aware or whatever it is, like spatial aware, whatever even the term is, like just be so in your own world that you're like just talk about yourself for I don't know, I think it was like an hour straight. Like I was like this it was at a certain point I was like I should like start a clock to see like how long she can go without asking me a question. It was like it was impressive. It was like kind of wild.
It's funny. Do you think she was just like not self-aware, or do you think she was not interested?
Um, I it's hard to say. It's really hard to say when it's to me it's like my ego is so tough on me that like unless someone is like blatantly interested, I it's hard for me to know. Unless someone's like, "Hey, you're cute," You're like, "Oh, that's what But if someone's like just laughing at your jokes, you're like, "I think they like me," but also my ego's like, "Nah," So I don't know.
Yeah. No, I hear that too. I just I feel like I do that when I'm really just like not interested. I'll just keep
You'll
talking
just talk about
because
yourself.
I'll just like, okay, I'm good at talking. Like, so I'll just talk
Yeah.
and then yeah, and I'll just to
Like
fill
just
the
fill space.
time, fill the time, fill the
Yeah.
silence.
Yeah.
Also, some guys are just like awkward. But no, I get that all the time. I feel like it's very rare to find a guy who's a good conversationalist, especially like on these apps at the beginning.
That's kind of wild to me because I've been listening to your show and I listened to the last like 4 episodes just because I just found your podcast like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And I listened to the last like 4 uploads, and the stuff you guys are talking about is like such bare bones, like checklist,
Yeah.
like someone if someone can't like hold a conversation. I mean, look, I don't know, maybe if you're like yeshivish and you didn't grow up around women, like that's a whole different thing. But like if you're even semi-secular and grew up in like I went to a private Jewish school, but it was co-ed, right? And it was like modern Orthodox. Like I don't know, you should know how to like have a conversation on a date. Like that's kind of wild.
Yeah, or like even at the beginning on an app, like, okay, I interview people on the podcast. I think I know how to have a conversation. I know how to ask questions, like basic questions on a dating app, like at the beginning stages of messaging. But these guys, I call them out. I'm just like, yeah, like I just like don't feel like carrying this conversation anymore. So if you want to
Like
ask me
like
something,
you would do that mid date. You would just be like, hey, like I'm
I
carrying
haven't
this.
I haven't done it in person because I don't know if it's happened to me so much in person that I cared. But like on an app, sometimes I'll just like stop answering, but sometimes I'll call the guy out if I'm just asking questions and he's like guys will respond to the questions but not ask a follow-up. Like also sometimes it's so easy. Like I'll ask a question, he'll answer, and then all you have to say is, "What about you?" Like
Right, right.
and it's just it baffles me. So
The,
sometimes I
the
just
apps are such a rough barometer of like that
no, I
stuff
know.
because everyone is like I'm really busy. It's like to me it's like
Nobody's that busy.
no one's that busy. First of all, I'm friends with like very successful rich freaking music people, and like they'll respond like if such and such DJ is gonna respond to me and like some girl on Hinge does it, I'm like you're not that busy. Like this dude is like a
Yeah.
gajillionaire touring around whatever. So
I have
I,
friends that are literal doctors who will still answer my text
right,
messages
mid
in a
surgery. It's
timely
like,
manner.
yeah. I just it's like I think it just means you're not prioritizing dating, which is like fine. Like you don't
Yeah.
have to. Again, no one knows anyone anything on these apps. But
Yeah.
like my MO on the app is to I think I send two messages before I'm like, hey, let's move to like either a phone call, a FaceTime, or like I try to get off the app like within like literally two, three messages.
And I think that that's the best way to do it. I honestly, I get bored with a guy. If he's messaging me for more than like 3 days, it's like, okay, he just wants a pen pal. And listen, sometimes when I resort to talking to guys on apps, I'm bored. Like
Right,
the
right,
the majority of the reason I'm messaging boys from apps is because I'm bored.
right.
Occasionally a guy will pique my interest and it's like, okay, if he asked me out, I would go out. But I also want a guy who's going to take initiative with that. I don't want to be like, "Oh, yeah, let's like make moves here."
Yeah. No,
Um
I don't think any woman really does. I think most women, in my experience, wants the man to, yeah, take initiative and whatever. So that's why, especially on the app, I'm like, hey, let's set up a time to call, let's set up this or that. And then immediately I'm going to be like, let's meet up in person if they live in LA, you know?
yeah.
But no one
Yeah, and
lives in LA.
that's how it should be. Wait,
Yeah.
can I ask you, and you can feel free to tell me if this is too personal or not,
Yeah.
what made you want to like become more religious?
Um, so I grew up modern Orthodox and like, but I was always a bad kid in the sense that like I was one of the only people in my school not keeping Shabbat and like whatever that whole thing. And in the last 5 years, I like it started with like, okay, I'm gonna stop. It was like religious like superstition. I was like, okay, if I work on Shabbos, I won't get parnasa. Okay, fine. So let's stop working. And once that kind of happened and I got to the next step, it was like my friend's sister got sick and I wanted to give her name to a rabbi directly. So I started going to shul and then I was like, went to this chabad by me and then I was like, wait, this shul sucks and like the vibe is terrible and it's like 10 old men. And then I was like, wait, I don't have to go to a shul that sucks. Like I could find a shul that I like. So then I started shul hopping and then I found this minion where these guys were doing Karlbach every Friday night and drinking and eating food and I was like, this is exactly what I'm looking for, like just like a boys club and it's super nostalgic and all the good things. And like then I was the only one driving to that Joel. And then after a couple of years, just it was just like that, like chipping away little by little by little. I never thought I'd be wearing tzitzis again, let alone I never thought I was gonna keep Shabbos again. And now I'm like, first of all, I like work with goys all day. I have like these people coming to my house to make music, and I tell them about like Shabbos, and they're all like, "Holy, I want to turn my phone off." I'm like, "Dude, just do it. You don't have to like believe in God to turn your phone off for 24 hours."
Yeah. No,
But
it's nice.
that's the trajectory.
It's really interesting because I feel like a lot of people around like in their late 20s, early 30s are going the opposite way.
You think so?
Yeah. At least like in the modern Orthodox world, like if you're still single, I talk to my friends about this all the time. Like even like myself personally, I'm like I'm only getting less religious. Like
Hmm.
when I get
Did
set
you,
up with
did you grow up religious?
yeah, I mean I am religious. I'm modern Orthodox. I grew up modern Orthodox, but like I don't know, things that I used to care about, I just find myself not caring about anymore. Nothing like
Mm.
big, like I still do the big things, Shabbat, kosher, holidays, like I don't know, we're recording this right before Rosh Hashanah and I literally
Yeah.
I spent my entire morning like cooking for Rosh Hashanah. I'm having 18 people over
Oh
for
wow.
the first night of Rosh Hashanah.
Wow.
Like that kind of stuff is still really important to me in the community and everything.
Yeah.
But like all these little things, like I don't care and like I don't know. I go through ups and downs with feeling connection and not connection. And I'm trying to get back into like feeling connected because at the end of the day, I think you only have like your belief and your faith to
Yeah.
like pull you through things. Like if you don't believe, then what's the point?
I mean, not to get too existential because I know it's like a dating podcast, but like I was at Shul yesterday and talking to one of my friends who's like, I think a very smart dude. And he's like, we got into a whole conversation about like, he's like, do you even believe in God? And I was like, man, I honestly struck, like, I love Judaism and I love tradition and I love putting on tefillin and all the things that come with being Jewish. Like, I love feeling like a Jewish person. But like, do I believe in God? I'm like, Like, yeah, I think I'm talking to someone every morning. Like, but I don't. It's like if I said that to a girl, I think who was like Machmir or whatever, she'd probably be like, oh, he's not for me, you know. And
Yeah.
it sucks that you can't like openly just kind of question. I don't know, just crazy existential like concepts and like whatever.
So you just said because we're on a dating podcast, but I think this does fully relate to dating. At least like in my, I think I was actually talking about this to my friends yesterday, and it's basically, I mean, I decided this at the beginning of 2025. Like, I'm not into New Year's resolutions or anything, but at the beginning of 2025, I think I just like personally, mentally, I go through ups and downs with life as everybody does. Things happen. Thank God I think objectively speaking, I have a very good life. But I don't know, things happen and it gets hard and you don't always see the good and there's bad, especially being single and in the dating world. It's like one bad guy after another. It like gets you down. So at the beginning of 2025, I was like, okay, this isn't a resolution, but I'm really going to try to like manifest and change my mindset and like be happy because I do believe that good things happen to people who are happy and ready for good things.
Yeah,
And good people. Like, I mean, I think I'm a good person. I try to do good things, but
yeah,
um so at the beginning of 2025, I was like, okay, I'm going to have a positive outlook about this instead of my normal like not always negative but very
skeptical.
realistic.
Yeah,
But so then I just had like a bunch of stuff happen around March, like just personal stuff that like I mean totally unrelated to dating, and it
yeah,
just kind of put me into this like different mindset, and like it spun me back into my negative mindset, and it kind of like followed throughout. Like I just had things that kept happening in like March and in May, and then that kind of followed me through the summer, and then I'm just like, wow, what am I doing? So I'm trying to lock in again for this coming Jewish year. I'm like, okay, it didn't work for the
yeah.
secular New Year, but for the Jewish New Year, I'm just trying to lock in, be positive, do all the things. And I don't know, I was talking to my friends yesterday. I'm like, I'm locked in this year. I'm going to find my husband this year. Like,
What does locked in mean to you? I'm curious.
so I'm going to explain it.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, I say that every year and all this and that. And it's like, no. But here's why. I personally don't think there's any more I could physically do to find someone. I'm like one of the most out there people. I have this podcast. I spent my day yesterday at the park. In New York, we all gather, all the young Jews gather like at the Great Lawn. They go socialize. I was cross promoting for a friend for an event that they were doing, and I was like, okay, sticky situations. You guys might have heard my ad back a few by the time you listen to this back like a couple months ago. Um, so I was cross promoting with him and I was like, okay, but you also have to advertise for the podcast. So I went around talking to people about the podcast and and networking, like introducing myself to random people I've never talked to before, which I don't always do, but like I do meet people. I am very out there in my community. I live in a very big young professional community. I'm constantly meeting new people. I'm pretty friendly.
Mm,
I'm on all the apps, I'm on all the groups, I'm on all the everything. I think I'm doing all in my like within my Hishtadlut to actually find someone. But
yeah.
I think what you can change once you're already doing all the things, and I go to events, I do all the stuff, if you change the mindset.
Mm,
So for me, being locked in is changing my mindset. It's like, okay, I need to like restore my faith that God has a plan for me and God is going to bring me who he's supposed to bring me, and it's going to happen in the right time, and
yeah.
I'm just manifesting that the right time is this year. So I don't know, doing all like the
I love
random little
that.
prayer
Yeah.
things. I went to the
Yeah.
OHEL last week. I'm like, okay, I got to go to the
That's huge.
OHEL more often.
That's
Like,
huge. Yeah.
so for me, that's what locking in means.
I got you.
And
Okay.
so, but yeah, going back to like the existential stuff, it's really easy to get caught up in being like sad about being single and thinking no one's ever gonna, you're not gonna find someone. But
Hmm.
I think the only way to not have those negative feelings or to try to get out of those negative feelings is to have faith that there is a plan and that something is going to happen.
Yeah. And I mean, that goes with like all of life. Like,
Yeah.
right? It's like if you don't have, I think you said it earlier, like, if you don't have faith, it's like, must be rough because you're probably just only looking at like negative stuff all day. Like, and that, it's like with money, like month money might be down, and then you're like, hey, God will get it, God will make it work, whatever. So yeah, you just have to have faith. I totally agree. It's very strange because like for me personally, because I came into this religious Jewish dating thing so late. I mean, I'm 34, so it's like I don't know. You know, you see all your friends get married really young, and like I didn't really give a shit because I mean, when I was 26, I was dating like a non-Jewish girl that I thought I was gonna marry, and I literally didn't care about that at all. You know, I mean, well, I remember there was some tension in my head, but like it didn't end up working out for obvious reason, or for maybe not obvious reason, but it didn't work out, and then after her, I was like, I only can date a Jew, and now I'm like, I can only date a Shabbos keeping Jew. So it's just like all that to say, like, yeah, I feel like I'm very late to this thing. So I'm not, I don't necessarily have a negative outlook on Jewish dating. I just, it's definitely trying, right? It's kind of exhausting, and the people that are sent to you from other people, like, hey, you guys might be a match, are like bad, like off. Like I'm like, I don't even know why you think we would make sense together. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, and all my friends are like, you have to go to New York or you have to go to Israel if you want to meet your wife. Because I'm in LA, like I mentioned, and I would argue, not argue, I mean, you ask ChatGPT, there's a gajillion Jews here. Like it's one of
Yeah.
the biggest places for Jews, but like I don't know. It's still tough. It's so I can't imagine if you live in like a small town, like how hard it must be because it's so tough here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from a smaller community and like people ask me, they're like, "Oh, why'd you move to New York?" It's like, why would I stay in Columbus? Like, there's
Yeah.
literally no one there. I
Oh,
mean,
from Ohio.
yeah, I mean, there are people there. There are people there, don't get me wrong, but it's mostly like young couples. There's no like good singles scene. But I mean,
Yeah.
I've been in New York. I went to school in New York and I've been here since school. So, I mean, but I'm just letting you know I've been in New York for a long time and it's still hard in New York. I know people who lived in Israel and it's still hard in Israel. It's
Is the Shidduch crisis like a real, is that a real thing? Whatever, meaning from what I've heard, like that there's just a lot more women that need to find someone, and therefore men are more, have the upper hand.
um yes, but I don't think it's that simple. I think and again, listen, I'm a feminist, I'm biased, I'm a woman. I've talked to a lot of weird guys, I've seen a lot of weird guys. I think in my personal opinion and also things that I've seen, women just and it's this is fact. Women over the last 50 years, however many years, they become more successful, more independent, and they don't need a man. It used to be back in the day, a woman needed a man. She couldn't have a bank account, she couldn't buy a house, she couldn't do anything without a man. Now, women have built their way up in the workplace, they're independent, and that means their standards are higher. Like, I'm not looking for a man to support me. Like, I need a man to like be a partner. And
Mm,
I think men have either not changed much or they've gotten worse. And because they're used to that mentality. And I really think it is worse in the Orthodox Jewish world
mhm,
because you have shadchans. I'm very anti shadchans. You have shadchans and you have like the mothers of these boys and the rabbis like telling these boys that they are the prize. These boys are not the prize. And
mm,
like that, they're not. And I'm not saying all guys. I have guy friends. I know a bunch of good guys. A lot of my friends are married to very good guys. But from what I've seen, especially as you get older in the dating, like who's left in the dating pool, are guys who are unmotivated, guys who don't have social skills, guys who don't know how to treat a woman well. And I don't know, for me, like, I don't want to stay single forever, but I would rather be single than lower my standards. And my standards aren't even that high. My standards are like pretty bare minimum.
yeah.
But it's like sad. And I have so many like amazing female friends, great personalities, great jobs, like like good people. And they all say the same things. And I don't think any of my friends has a maybe a couple have an unrealistic expectation for what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like I've talked to guys who have such unrealistic expectations of what they're looking for. And they're they not only have unrealistic expectations, but they don't even meet their own standards. Like,
That's funny.
so in that
It's
sense,
back to the self-awareness thing. It's you're talking to someone who's just like not being realistic about, their situation.
yeah, and I don't think those people are gonna get married, and I'm okay with that.
I fall in a tricky category because I'm very picky and kind of to what you said where you're like you don't want to settle like yeah I actually have a great life as a single person and like honest to God I like all my friends are like no none of my friends are like really religious none of my like so like they're doing their thing they're going to bars meeting girls hooking up I'm like so uninterested in that but even as a single man who's not taking advantage of being single advantage in air quotes meaning like going out and hooking up with people I love my solitude and I love my apartment and I love the space I create. I host a Shabbat once a month. I have like 50, 60 people here. I've been
Oh,
doing
wow.
that for like 4 years. I don't want to sacrifice that for quote unquote settling, is kind of what you were saying. I
Yeah.
totally agree. But the only thing is, back to like the self-awareness and whatever, I am very self-aware that my expectations of what the person I want to date looks like are is above what I look like. I'm like I know that I want to date someone who's cuter than me, and like that's not totally fair and realistic, but like historically I've only dated girls that were I found very attractive. And like it's tough to date someone who you don't have that baseline like level of attraction, and you can't really fake that. And you said earlier you were like, attraction can grow, and everyone's told me that. But like if you go on a date and when you walk up, if you're not attracted to the person, like and you're not going to be, it's like tough. And maybe that's what that girl experienced when she saw me and she was just like, hey, it's not it for me, you know?
Yeah, I
I know
mean, I
I said
think
a lot. There's a lot to unpack there. So, yeah.
no, I mean, I have this conversation a lot with one of my guy friends, and my thing is, and even some of my female friends, like one of my friends is like, "Oh, but is he hot? Is he hot? Is he hot?" Like at some point, it's like funny that people place so much emphasis on looks. And like, yes, you need to be attracted to someone. You need to want to like be intimate with someone. I'm not saying like date someone you're completely unattracted to. But
Yeah.
it's so funny that like people are so conditioned. I think especially guys, and yes, some girls too, are so conditioned to like need a certain look and a certain this and a certain
Yeah.
that because looks are literally the thing that change the most about
A, th-
someone.
a, thou- a thousand percent. And my mom has hammered that in my head a million times. And it's weird because I can agree with that sentiment, but at the same time, I can be like a walking hypocrisy, whatever. Like, I can be like, I agree, looks change. I'm not a 10. Like, why do I need to date someone who I think is like beautiful, whatever? It's just so hard to like uncondition that out of my head. And so when shotguns or whoever send me someone, 9 times out of 10, I'm just responding, "Hey, that's not really my look," or whatever. Because someone told me that's like a nice way of saying that, of like you're not attracted to the person. So yeah, that's been now that I've gotten more religious. Maybe this is like a shitty thing to say, but like the attraction scale has also changed, but I think that's more because the pool is narrowed. Like just there's just less people overall that I'm willing to date.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I also have told my female friends, like, you can only be picky about one superficial thing. And, like, for me, I'd choose money over looks any day. Not that I'm, like, so superficial about money, but,
No, you know your priority. You know what you're prioritizing.
like, I would rather have a guy with, like, a good career than a guy who's, like, really good looking any day of the week.
By the way, I would rather have a woman who was like nice and like cute than like beautiful and like shitty. So it's like,
Yeah.
obviously like
Well,
there's
that falls into a non-superficial category. I'm just talking about, like, the superficial categories. Like, I think someone is as a person is like the number one priority. At least
sure,
like in
sure.
my opinion. Like I when someone asks me what I'm looking for, the first thing I say is I want a good person. I want a good guy.
So
Like
it's actually interesting you say that because I can tie this into I just had again being more religious now I'm doing like these FaceTime dates with girls in New York. I
mhm.
actually haven't gone on a date in a year. Phone call, physical date, anything. up until like a month ago. So I've literally, because I'm so picky and like because I'm so I care about my time and how I invest it, whatever, in terms of dating, and I don't want to waste time. I haven't been on a date in a year. My mom like paid some guy to daven at the hotel for me to find a wife, and first I'm back to do you believe in God or not? Ever since that dude started davening, I've gone on 4 dates that I
Wow.
hadn't been on in a year. So there's something to be said about that. But anyway, I had this FaceTime chat with this girl who I matched with her on Hinge, and to the point of what we were just talking about, superficial stuff, superficiality, if that's a word, I don't know. But we she, early on in the I was very attracted to her. She's really cute. And early on in the conversation, she goes, "I think I know my calling. I think I know what I want to do." She's like, "I kind of just want to be like a stay-at-home mom. Like that's like I just want to have a family and be like a mom. Like it's come to me in the last couple of years like an epiphany, and like that's what I want to do." And not that that's a red flag for me, but right away I was like, she's cute, but I would prefer if she had a career that she cared about. So it's like, it's kind of like, to your point, like money or looks, like it's, I don't know about money, but like it would be cool to date someone who, I don't really want to date someone who just wants to be a mom. Like, God bless if you want to do that, that's amazing. But like, I want someone who's kind of back to what you were saying about like partners and equality and like who brings their own thing to the table and like has a career that they're like passionate about, also wants to be a mom and isn't going to be bitter if they get stuck at home being a mom. Like, it's just like there's so much dynamics there, and
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I don't know, that popped in my mind.
It's crazy that that's like I don't know. In my own experiences, like guys are so like all over the place with that kind of preference. Like I went out the last guy I went out with like spent the whole first part of the date saying that he thinks like one of the parents how important he thinks it is for one of the parents to like stay home with the kids. And I spent the whole first part of the date being like, yes, so like I'm not gonna do that.
Was he like nudging you, being like, it's you, like it's you that has to do it?
I mean, it was like one of those things. I knew it wasn't going to work out even before the date. I should have not have said yes anyways. I was just like with the wrong people at the wrong time who were encouraging and I'm just like
Yeah,
no. And like
yeah,
he was like bare minimum amount of like nice. So and like making a plan. So my friends were just like go on a date, like just do it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But this like the second I knew even before it wasn't going to work and then the second he showed up, I knew it wasn't going to work. It wasn't even about like an attractive level. It was just like this isn't gonna work. Like he was
yeah,
very Sephardi also, and like listen, I'm very open minded. I'll date. My ex boyfriend is Sephardi. Like
yeah,
I'm down with Sephardim,
yeah.
but he was like very like in that mentality. So then he ended up like at some point during the date like flipping what he was saying and contradicting himself and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I like that you have a job and like you're independent. Like all these girls just want a guy to support them." And I was like, "What?
He's
What
like,
are you
but I also want you to stay at home and not leave.
Yeah, no, I ended up this was the date I ended up like getting up. But
Oh
basically
wow.
basically long story short, he ended up he was like talking crap about his friend's wife who like he's like, "Yeah, she just stays at home and my friend works so hard and he does all the work and makes all the money and she does nothing." And then she starts talking about her and it turns out that they have a baby. And I was like, "Oh, she doesn't do nothing. She stays home
Yeah,
with the baby."
yeah,
And
that's insane.
he's like, "Yeah, but she could work at night, like after the baby goes to sleep." I'm like, "No, that's not how this works. Like, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you're a stay-at-home mom. Like, that's a job." And then I like started kind of yelling at him, and then there was an older couple sitting next to us that was like cheering me
Oh,
on.
you were like getting loud.
Not like loud, but like it was it was a very we went out for ice cream and it was like it's New York City. So we were sitting there was like an outside seating place
Yeah,
and the tables were very close together. So
right.
anything above like a whisper, like the next table over could hear. So, but I was like mad and irritated at what he was saying. So, but the table next door, this table next to us, the woman, it was like an older couple, and the woman was like clapping for me. And then I stood up, then I stood up and left. And then I was like, "Listen, I'm done with this conversation. I have stuff to do. Like, this isn't gonna work."
Yeah.
Um, and
What did he say? He's like, all good.
he was like kind of confused, but I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, we like just don't have the same values. And then he's like, okay, I'll walk you home. And I was like, no, I don't need you to walk me home. You go that way to your car. I'll go that way to my apartment. We're good. We're done here.
Yeah. Damn.
And then there was a table of like younger girls. They were probably like maybe college age, maybe like early 20s.
Yeah.
They were cheering me on also, and I was like, wow.
Oh, it's like you had a whole audience.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they were like behind me until I stood up.
Yeah, that's
But
so funny.
I was just like, no. So I don't know. I talked to guys who want that like tradition, quote
Yeah.
unquote,
Yeah.
traditional wife, but honestly, I I don't know how anyone's affording that in 2025.
I mean, again, God bless if you can, and
Yeah.
if that's what you both want, and that's both of your values line up that way, sweet, amazing. But
Yeah.
for
I
me,
fully
yeah,
I
it's not for me.
respect women who want to stay home. I just know that's not my personal like
Yeah,
I
same.
like going to work. I like having my independence. I like having my own life outside of like I do want to be a mom and I do want kids.
Yeah,
Like I think I also grew up my mom worked full time. So like I think it's important to have like adult time
yeah,
and be away
100%.
from the family.
I've
But
I've I've historically dated. I've historically been like the breadwinner in relationships, and like I just I don't want to necessarily like. It's not that I don't want to be the breadwinner. I don't want it. I always date girls where they kind of rely on me to guide the relationship, and this is speaking from like dating four girls seriously in my adult life, right? So like that's all I can fall back on is that experience. But after the last girl I dated, I was like, I really need to like try and do the opposite because I keep attracting the same kind of person. So that girl gave me some of those red flags of like, hey, this is kind of the thing I normally fall into. So I was like, I should maybe just step away from that and whatever it was very funny. Like, tell me if you would call this ghosting because first of all, I think ghosting is atrocious and like
I hate
the worst
ghosting.
thing the worst thing you could do to someone. But we mutually just stopped talking. Like we had like a FaceTime call. I think we had a second FaceTime call. And after the second FaceTime call, no one texted anyone again. And I was like, it kind of is just, we're both just like, it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Personally, I think it's on the guy to text first after a date or a call. Unless I'm really not interested, then I'm gonna text you and be like, "Hey, like this isn't."
But what if you both just aren't interested and you both just are like,
I
okay,
think it's still nice to say it.
you think so? Like
Yeah,
just like it would have been nice if I was just like, hey, like good chat, da da da, it's not whatever.
yeah.
Okay. It's very interesting, like dating in
I,
this era, as you obviously know, because like we are inundated with the apps, and I think that's why I have such an issue with this attraction thing, and why it's like the bane of my existence is because like we live in this crazy time where we just yes, no, left, right, and it's just like who knows what that's doing to our like our mental health and like whatever.
oh, there are
Uh,
studies shown that it's like bad.
yeah, like I can't imagine it's good. So it's so easy to be like, oh, like I'll pass on this girl even if she has so many qualities that align with me because there's another one tomorrow next like one swipe away or whatever, you know? It's really it's kind of wild. So whenever someone who's like has been married for the last 10 years is like, "Hey, I have a dating advice for you." I'm like, I respect your marriage. Maybe I'll take like marriage advice, but like dating advice, I don't know. Like I don't think you understand like the landscape at this point.
I mean, I think that's also like a bad mentality to have is that there's always going to be someone better, which again, if you meet someone and they don't fulfill like what you're looking for in a partner, then
Yeah.
like, okay, you can have that mentality,
No,
but
it's the worst mentality, but it's back to like what we're talking about, like conditioning. It's been like
yeah,
conditioned in us.
yeah. I mean, the only way to change things is to change it. Like,
Yeah, you have to combat that like
you just
actively.
have to like start and like, I don't know, like for me, I always try to give someone a chance, and then but like for me, giving a chance could be a 10-minute phone call.
Totally,
If I
totally.
think after a 10-minute phone call, like, no, this is not gonna happen, then okay, it's not gonna happen. But
Yeah.
I think it's like it's good to give people a chance. And then I don't know, I've heard so many stories and like you shouldn't go based off of other people's experiences, I think, but people have said like, "Oh, I wasn't interested at first, and then I gave them a chance, and then they actually ended up being like so much better than I thought, and then they're like
Sure.
been
I
married
mean,
for like."
yeah, you hear about like these amazing stories, and you said this earlier, and I think it's true. Like women are just way more open-minded when it comes to that stuff. And it sucks that for whatever reason I don't feel as strongly that way. Like I would love to. My life would be easier if I this attraction thing that's like feels like a curse because like I probably would have been married with someone like that's amazing by now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like I could speak on behalf of myself. I can't speak on behalf of all men, but like this for me this attraction thing like it's not something like I'm proud of. Like I would love to not be so like vain or whatever it is, about that stuff, and it would make my life a lot easier. But it's like, I mean, back to your point, it's like you just have to kind of work on it and just kind of like, you
Yeah,
know,
I recommend therapy. Um,
yeah,
I have like a close guy friend who I have this conversation with like at least a couple times a week. And my answer to him is always the same. It's like, you need to go to therapy and figure it out. Like,
yeah.
but I will tell you, I see so many, like, I'm in all these groups. The Facebook groups, the WhatsApp
I feel
groups.
like you're a lot more tapped in. So give me the
No,
the skinny.
I see all of them, and what I see are these guys like in their 40s and they're even in their 50s, and they're still like, still never married, still looking for unrealistic expectations,
Right,
wanting a woman who's under 35. Like,
right.
listen, I'm a woman who's under 35. There's no way I'm dating a 40-year-old. There's no way I'm dating a 50-year-old. Like,
Yeah,
no thanks.
yeah,
And like they're in this delusional sense, they didn't get it together in their 20s, 30s, or 40s, and they're still delusional and thinking they're gonna find what they're looking for, and they still want to have biological children, and they're just not. And like
yeah.
I I've been told I need to like not be as like mean about this. I think I have the Iron Hara on me. I have an Iron Hara bracelet on,
It's
like,
not mean. It's. I mean,
but
whatever. It's your opinion.
like I when I see a guy who says that, it's like, yeah, he's not gonna find what he's looking for, and I hope he doesn't. Like, unless you're a billionaire, you're not like if you're 45 and you're like just a regular guy,
Yeah.
a 30-year-old's not going to marry you. A 30-year-old's not going to
I
have your
think
kid.
I think I would 9 out of 10 times agree with you, but I think in the religious world there are situations where that happens. I guess there
It's
must be,
very
right?
rare. Not maybe in like the more maybe in certain communities, like I know certain like in more insular like Spartic communities where
But
they
even on
only
like, are you on Loop?
yeah, Loop
So like,
sucks.
sometimes I'll look at a girl's profile who's like, let's say there's like this weird window of 30s for women because like obviously the biological pressure of like having to figure
Men
out
have it too, by the way. You should just know men have it
a,
too.
1,000%, but it's
Advanced
definitely
paternal
weighted.
age.
It's weighted differently, I would say.
It is, but honestly, I don't think it should be because there are more and more studies now about advanced paternal age. And like, listen, I don't want a guy over 35. Advanced paternal age starts at 35. Like, listen, you could freeze your sperm.
Sure, sure. I'm not even like.
You as in like the general like male population, but like I think it's delusional. Like there are risks involved when there is an older father as well, like
Of course,
biologically.
of course,
And
of
also
course. I think
like
aging in any capacity is like
I also
changes.
I think like with today's modern day fertility stuff, and by the way, at any age people have fertility problems. Like I
Yeah.
actually earlier this year I did egg freezing, and I once I was like very open and talking. This isn't a secret. I've talked about it on the podcast before, and
Yeah.
I I literally like would talk about it openly at Shabbat meals to my friends. Everyone knew. So then like people who are married started telling me like, "Oh, these are actually all the fertility things that I did." And like
Hmm.
people of all ages,
A
all
hundred
anything.
percent, 100%.
So
It's
like
yeah,
I don't
and
it's
I
just
was I
not.
was only bringing it up to say that like it's clearly a stigma, whether it's more
Yeah.
on women or more on men, or it's clearly like a thing that's happening. But what I was gonna say is like going on Loop or something, I've seen like women who are like, let's say 34, 35, like a lot of these women that I've noticed will be like willing to date up to like 50. And I'm like, I'm personally surprised, kind of what you're getting at. So I've
Yeah,
just
I'm
seen that in
surprised too.
my own Loop whatever the word is, like
I mean,
losing.
now you can't see people's age preferences, but yeah. I
No,
mean,
they'll like write it in their like
oh, they
bio.
write it in the
Yeah, yeah, they'll be like, I'm
bio.
willing to date up. Like, yeah,
It's so interesting. Yeah,
I
I mean,
know.
I think again, I just spat a lot of facts, but those are not you're right. There is still a stigma, which is why I try to say it as much as possible when I have the opportunity on the podcast so people know because I'll bring up advanced paternal age and fertility things and egg freezing, like just
Yeah,
in general, and people like have no idea. It's like people do your research. It's not
yeah.
black and
Well,
white.
I'm not gonna lie. I've never technically heard of that, but like nothing that doesn't surprise me at all. Like
Yeah,
I think getting older, like up your chances of like pregnancy stuff, or it endangers it being whatever this and that.
yeah,
So it's like it just makes sense.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean that's the only reason I bring it up.
Yeah,
It's everyone should do more research into it. I'm also not an expert. I'm an accountant. I'm not a fertility doctor.
sure.
Um but I just because I like had my own fertility stuff this year, I like got more interested in fertility in general
Mhm.
and it is an interesting topic and I plan
Yeah,
on
it's
talking more
definitely a
about it
huge.
at
It's
some
definitely
point.
a huge. I mean, there's certain things that are deal breakers. Fertility, meaning whether or not someone wants to have children or not, is a deal breaker. So obviously, fertility falls in that umbrella, and then there's like whatever. There's a bunch of other deal breakers, but it's a huge topic. Yeah,
Yeah. But going back to our original point, I'm just saying like if you can have the mentality that you're going to find someone cuter, someone younger, someone blonder, someone
sure.
skinnier, someone this, someone that. But at the end of the day, like you're not immune from turning into that 52-year-old who's looking for a
A
35-year-old
thousand,
that's never
thousand
going to date
percent.
you.
I was at a
And
Shabbos lunch and saw a guy that was that. He was like a good-looking guy. Da da da. Same that I'm dealing with, and I was like, oh God. I'm like looking into a mirror. I was like, it's not good.
yeah. I mean, listen, if you're a billionaire, you have a better chance of it, but if you're just like a
Sure.
dude, like
I'm just a dude. That's the thing.
yeah.
I'm just a dude.
And listen, there's nothing wrong with being just a dude or being just a woman. Like I would say most of us are just like we're just here. We're
Yeah.
average. We're like
Yeah.
I don't know. So, but I'm saying like it's not if you want to actually be serious. I talked about this I think in a previous episode. I have a friend who lives in my neighborhood and she says any guy over 30 is single for one of three reasons. They're gay, socially off, or afraid of commitment. I
Mm.
think and again, I'm an accountant, not a psychologist, but I think there is something psychological about a guy being so picky having to do with being afraid of commitment.
That could very well be true. There's definitely like solid logic to that, and I don't know. I think personally speaking, like yeah, the concept of marriage is like terrifying, but like the concept of having kids is terrifying. But I have a feeling once you're in it, it kind of just is, and like you stop being so, it's just being a single person and thinking about it. It seems so far away and like this big grand thing. But I feel like that's you don't get married overnight, right? Like you date
Yeah.
and you get to know someone and whatever. But am I scared of commitment? I don't know. Maybe like there must be some reason like you're I think you're espousing the idea that like one could use the attraction thing as like a buffer for not for commitment, right? It's like, oh,
Mhm.
I'll right. You can kind of use that as an excuse and therefore avoid commitment and like, sure, like that. I mean, what you're saying makes sense for sure.
Yeah. I mean, listen, again, I'm not a
Or I'm just gay. I
psychologist.
mean, whatever. Just kidding.
Listen, we support it. It's
God bless. Yeah.
2025. God
Hell yeah.
bless. But I mean, I don't listen, I don't recommend dating men, so good luck with that one.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
But wait, before we continue, let's take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors and we'll be right back. Sticky Situations is sponsored by Corona Crush. Are you tired of swiping on dating apps? Tired of guessing whether the cute guy or girl you keep seeing around is Jewish and or single? Then you need to run, not walk to join Corona Crush. Corona Crush is a Jewish organization working to create Jewish couples always. Corona Crush has over 30 confirmed engagements, over 22,000 members from all over the world, and has set up over 50,000 speed dates. Join the Corona Crush Facebook group and post yourself or have a friend post you and see who reaches out. Fill out the survey to sign up for virtual speed dating events happening every other week. Corona Crush is 100% free and 100% Jewish. Worst case, you end up with some stories of your own. Best case, you find the love of your life. Try it out today. Here on Sticky Situations, we tend to focus on bad dating stories, but sometimes dates do go well and lead to proposals and weddings. Who would have thought? And what do all of those require, you might be asking? Well, the answer is flowers. Who doesn't want flowers from someone they've been seeing? Don't forget, flower petals and bouquets needed for proposals. And that's even before all the flowers that go into weddings. Sticky Situations is sponsored by Primrose Flower Shop. In my opinion, Primrose is the coolest flower shop around and has the best customer service to fulfill all of your floral needs. Primrose offers a range of services from your basic bouquets to subscription services where you can get flowers delivered once a week. They deliver all over the tri state area, including Manhattan. Primrose does weddings, bar and bat mitzvahs, and other simchas. I've personally been to a wedding where Primrose did the flowers, and the work they did was beyond gorgeous. Primrose additionally offers in store proposals, including a romantic setup with candles and music. Primrose is located at 2922 Avenue M in Brooklyn, and the phone number is 929 376 9815. You can also follow Primrose on Instagram at PrimroseNY. So, if you can't get someone out of your head, buy them some flowers from Primrose. They'll either love it or they'll find you really creepy. But regardless, the flowers will be out of this world. Okay, we're back, everybody. David, do you want to tell another story?
I've a good one. This happened recently. So I was telling you I haven't been on a date in a year, and in the last month I've been on four. I've been talking to four people. Would you count a FaceTime as a date? I guess if yeah, sure. So there were two girls in New York that I talked to. One was the one I mentioned where she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and I was like, okay, cool. Not for me. And the second one was off of Loop. It was the first person I ever got a number off from Loop, but I was actually because my friend was friends with her, so I texted my friend. I was like, "Hey, can you reach out to this girl for me?" Okay, cool. She lives in New York. We FaceTimed, and it was like she's really sweet, but like the conversation felt a little bit like pulling teeth, which is like, obviously not ideal. And right after the conversation ended, she texted the mutual friend, or the shotgun in this case, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Wow, he's so great. Like, it was so good. Let's do it again, type thing. Like, let me know what he says. And she called me with that information, and I was just like, hey, yeah, I don't know. Like, it felt like pulling teeth, and like she was really sweet, but like I don't know, I didn't get much out of the interaction. And then here's where this thing happens where all your friends start chiming in and being like, well, you want to date someone who keeps Shabbos, she's that. You want to date someone who does this, she's that. I'm like, yeah, but like I didn't feel anything on this FaceTime. And they're like, well, it's FaceTime, so maybe, she lives in New York, maybe you have to go to New York to like see her. And I was like, dude, the idea of traveling to New York to see someone I'm not even remotely excited about sounds crazy in my head. So all that being said, I went on my first in-person date a week and a half ago. It was the day Charlie Kirk got shot, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Um, it's a bad omen on the whole day. So like, so I host these big Shabbases, and I do it through One Table. Do you know what One Table is?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm like considered
If
a
you want
super.
to describe it quickly if any of my listeners don't know.
It's probably funded by Jewish billionaires, program where they get people to host Shabbats, and they give you $100 for every 10 people, up to $300 maximum if you're a super host, which I am because I've been doing the thing for so long. They basically give you money to like host a meal, and like $300 when you have 40, 50, 60 people over, it's like doesn't go a super long way, but it definitely helps.
Yeah.
$100 does practically nothing, but like it does really help. And I've talked to the people who run it, and like I've been to their meetings. I have a lot of things that I want them to do, but like whatever, that's a whole different conversation. Anyway, that's what One Table is. So what happens is because I host these huge Shabbases, I have like total strangers walking in like a good amount of time, which I love. I love giving Shabbos to people who've never experienced it. I think it's so cool. Sometimes people walk up to me afterward and they're like, dude, like I want to host my own Shabbos. How do I do that? And these are people who are like literally, I don't know, grew up with like barely any Shabbos. So it's really dope. I love the concept. Anyway, this girl walks up by herself and I have this outdoor patio and she walks up and me and my friends are like, what, who is that? Like, why is there a beautiful girl walking up by herself? Like, so she came from one table and she just moved to LA and we didn't really get a chance to talk at my Shabbos because I'm busy hosting, running around. So I found her email through one table. I messaged her and I was like, hey, we didn't get a chance to talk. You came to my Shabbos. If you want to hang out next week, like let me know. I would love to like get a coffee or something. But like it wasn't under the guise of like an actual date. It wasn't like hey, let's go on a date, right? Because I don't even know her at all.
Hmm.
It was just like, hey, like whatever, let's so we go downtown, get some coffee, and I'm calling this my first date in a year, even though it wasn't technically a date, but like we were we had such good conversation and like I was very attracted to her and everything flowed so nicely and it was like for 2 hours just nonstop talking and like she was cracking up the whole time. And this is kind of back to my point. I'm like my ego was like, oh, this is it. She like really likes you for sure. Like this could be a thing. And then at the end of the date, I was just like, hey, like by the way, I never or not date, whatever you want to call it. I was like, hey, like what's your relationship? Like, are you single? Like I literally never even asked you. She's like, yeah, I just got out of like a 4 year, really rough relationship. Long, like rough meaning the whatever, it's a rough breakup, it's always rough. And it was a long distance thing. And she basically was just like, hey, I'm not emotionally available at all. And like she's like, and then she made it a point to be like, I'm not even like physically available. And I was like, oh, I was like, okay, I wasn't like getting at anything. Like, but I was like, that sucks because I thought we kind of hit it off and I thought there was really good chemistry and I think you're super cute and da da da. But I was like, totally understand. I was like, if that changes at any point, like if you feel differently and more ready to talk about stuff, but like I'm around and whatever. The whole long and short of why I'm bringing the story up is because those two other FaceTime dates that I had, one with the girl who wanted to be a mom and one with the girl who felt like pulling teeth, it really I hadn't gone on a date in a year and I forgot what it feels like to be excited. And she totally reminded me of like, oh yeah, like this is what you're supposed to feel like. You're supposed to feel giddy. You're supposed to feel like butterflies. You're supposed to be like, wow, this person, like I'm into them. I'm attracted to them, all those things. And all my friends who were like, oh, go on a second date with the girl that you literally have nothing that you want to not talk to. Like it was like a reminder of like my biggest takeaway with all this stuff is like you just have to trust your gut and like it'll tell you when things feel right and when things feel off. And even if I was really sad after the date, I was really sad because I was like I finally found someone who was like fit all these criteria and like everything was good and she wasn't into me and time or whatever timings. Maybe she was letting me down easy, maybe it was timing, whatever. But I'm really grateful that it put things into perspective for me and like reminded me that you're supposed to feel a certain way when you're into someone. And I thought that was like a blessing, kind of.
Yeah. No, I definitely have my own experiences like that too. So I 100% know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
But I don't know, sometimes it's like, oh shoot, like I can have feelings and like and then it
it's
just like gets
bittersweet.
taken
Yeah,
away.
yeah, it's
But
bittersweet, totally.
yeah, it's hard. But it is a good reminder that like again, you just have to have faith that someone is out there or
Yeah.
that something will work out or some timing will work out. Like, yeah.
And the problem with like I host all these dinners and I have like a really big community here in LA because of all this socializing. I don't think I socialize like you. It sounds like you're like out in the streets like doing your thing like literally cross promoting and whatever, but like I have a really solid community and I went to Shabbos lunch yesterday at my friend's and that girl was there and it really threw me off guard. It kind of like changed the mood of the she just like walked in and I was with all my friends. I like felt very open and vulnerable and like whatever. And then I was like, oh no, do I have to like be cool now? Like I was like, I don't know. It's just like it just changed the energy for sure.
Yeah. No, I've been there.
Yeah.
Been there when you just like are trying to hang out with your friends and then the person walks in and then,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You're like,
Then
oh
you're like, oh, I'm putting on a show.
yeah.
But
pretty much.
so did you end up talking to her?
She like didn't really even like it looked like she was like trying to avoid me. And like
Oh,
not in a negative way, but in a shy sort of like this is awkward way. And I
yeah.
was like I think we exchanged a few words. It was like pretty minimal. But and I was like thinking about texting her after. I was like, nah, it's like it is what it is. I was like, if this girl is ready to do something, then she'll let me know. We already have a I did something a little passive aggressive that was kind of funny. She when she was like I texted her this long thing like, hey, I really had a great time on this date, not date thing, and like I said, if you're emotionally available at any point, you feel ready to like talk about stuff, like I'm around, I would love to explore that. And she was like, she's like, I'm not right now, for the foreseeable future, basically is what she said. She's like, but I'm down to explore a friendship. And all I wrote back was, let's explore then, bestie. Because it was like with the her Sherlock Holmes emoji. So it was like guy with a magnifying glass. It was pretty passive aggressive, but kind of funny.
I think it's like, okay, like we could be friends.
Yeah, but I was talking about this with a couple friends. Like, what does it even mean to be friends with a girl? Like, and that's an insane question. But let me follow up with
No, it's a good topic.
let me follow up with I don't have any. I have female friends in my life. I have women that like, but I don't have any female friends in the way of like, I don't know, on a Tuesday night I want to get dinner. I'm not like calling that. But I'm going with the boys. And for whatever reason, like all the women I've ever had in my life have either been girlfriends or like friends, wives, or their girlfriend. Like I don't really have any women in my close circle, and like I don't know what that says about me or what that doesn't say about me, but like I was thinking about like with her, she's like, let's be friends, and I'm like, what does that mean? Like you already know that I like you. Like I've made that abundantly clear to her. So does that mean like I say, hey, let's go see a movie, but like I'm not paying? Or like I wouldn't see a movie. There's no girls in my life that I would call to see a movie. I just don't like I don't really have that. So I don't know. It's a little interesting to like kick around that idea.
Yeah. I don't know. I think what you're describing from the viewpoint of like a woman trying to date a man, if a guy said exactly what you said to me, that's a green flag. Like the guy, I think it's a huge red flag when a guy has like a million female friends that are like close friends and all this and that. Because for me personally, okay, I live in my community, and like you said, if I want to hang out with someone, I have a bunch of girlfriends to text. I'm not texting any of my guy friends. Like I have guy friends, but okay, I invite them for Shabbat meals. I talk to them. Yeah,
Exactly.
I talk to them at shul. I talk to them at the park. If I need like it's bad to say, but like if I need help with something that they're equipped to help with, like okay, I did like a collab with a guy who I'm friends with. Like, okay,
Sure.
that's a
Sure.
collab.
That's almost like a business acquaintance type thing. But even though you might actually
Yeah.
be friends, but like whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm not like calling some a guy friend up to hang out.
Same.
Really,
Yeah.
really like I have a couple guy friends who I text, but it's like it's not that deep.
Yeah.
Like when I'm texting people, it's my girlfriends. When I'm
Yeah.
trying to get advice, unless I have a guy friend, like if I need advice specifically from a guy, then okay, I'll call up one of my guy friends.
Right.
But I don't, it's tricky because really the only guys that I would do that for are ones that I would date.
And that's exactly how I feel. So I don't
I
know.
don't
I
know.
feel like there's like super liberal women who I've like talked to who's like, oh, you don't have any girls that are friends. That's a red flag, you know. So I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of it.
No, I mean, it's okay to have platonic friendships as long as you know the boundary of it. And it sounds like you do have platonic friendships of like women that you have over for Shabbat meals and socialize with
100%.
casually. Like,
100%.
it's a red flag if you don't talk to any women ever in your entire life, but like,
Sure.
I don't think it's a red flag that you don't have women that you're constantly talking to and emotionally attached to that
Right.
like so I don't
Yeah.
know. I think you could continue with her as if you're trying to
What
pursue her in dating.
what I decided with her, again, like maybe she's letting me down easy. Like I don't know. That's what my ego's telling me. What I decided with her was like I'm just going to invite her to group things that make sense. Like so it's like
Yeah.
right? So like that's it. And if there's a vibe, there's a vibe. And if she vibes with someone else, one of my friends, like all good is what it is. Like,
Yeah, I think that's a good approach to it because again, like you're saying, she might be letting you down easy. She might
yeah.
like and really she's probably telling the truth. Like she's not emotionally ready to date anyone.
Let's
But
call her
also
live on the podcast. Let's call it. No, I'm just kidding.
put her on the spot. No, I
Yeah, let's
wouldn't do
let's
that.
let's do it.
But I guess only like time will tell with that kind of stuff. And
Yeah,
I at least especially like in my own personal situations, if something is right but it's not the right time, you just have to have faith that like when it is the right time, it will happen. Or
100%.
something better will happen before that.
Yeah, there's no other way to view things, or else you're
Yeah.
just gonna hate the world pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, like I have a guy like that in my life too. It's like, okay, like there's a vibe, but there's not a vibe, but is there a vibe? And
yeah,
then like it's a bad time. So I don't know. You do whatever you can, and at the end of the day, if he's my person, then he'll be my person. But if he's
yeah.
not my person, someone else will come along.
Dating's tough, man. It's
Yeah,
really
it's
tough.
tough.
I don't know. I don't know what to. Obviously, like you want to have like a hopeful message, but like since I've started dating in this religious world, it's been tough. I mean, obviously, self-admittedly, like I have my own things that I need to work on, and that's why I've only gone on like one date in a year. Like that's, that's not really giving it a shot. But like, it's weird because I'm like so open to dating. Like in my head, I'm like so down to date the right person, but I'm just so picky that it like gets in the way of like that thing happening. And I keep telling myself like it'll just when it feels right, it feels right. And back to what that girl reminded me, like it just felt right, and you can't really force those feelings. And yes, those feelings can grow with time and da 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 da. But like the first date feelings of when you're excited about something, it's just you can't fake that. It's such a like whatever the word is, like tangible, like it's there. It's like you can touch it the way it feels.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
so yeah,
I 100% get what you're talking about.
yeah.
But okay, David, do you have any more stories you want to share?
Let me see. I have a funny thing I wrote down, which is that my mom obviously, maybe not obviously, but she really wants me to get married. I'm the youngest of four boys, and the other ones have all found their wives. She so much so that she made me an account for Saw You at Sinai, and she's fully running the account. Like I'm not. I told her I was like, I don't like that website. I think it's garbage, and like
It is.
I was like, but if you want to like, so at first she was like sending me everyone, like she was like, what do you think about this girl? What do you think? And she was just sending screenshots of like what the shadchans send through. And then she started realizing that I say no to like pretty much 99% of what gets sent. And now she's like very selective with what she sends me. And it's like, it's really funny. Like she'll like message the shotguns pretending to be me, like, "Hey, thanks so much," like that. And I'm like, I don't know. I thought it was really funny that my mom's fully running an account, a dating account for me. I was like, you're literally catfishing people, like in a crazy way.
That is really funny. And mom, if you're listening to this, don't get any ideas. Um, I was on I was on Solid. My mom would definitely do that too, but then she would
Yeah,
feel guilty and tell me. But I was
yeah.
on Solid at Sane for years, and
It's garbage. It's like so garbage. I
yeah,
I wish I think J Date had the or J Swipe had the most potential, but they never like made it better. Like
yeah. The app
the
is so bad.
design, the app is so outdated, and like Hinge is the best thing, but like I wish there was like a Shomer Shabbos filter.
Yeah,
That'd be
I mean
amazing.
Hinge has gotten bad too. J Swipe, okay. I've recently had a J Swipe resurgence. I don't know why. I think I
Did I
just
get
like
back on it? I deleted it like a
I
year ago.
re I refreshed my profile, like put all new pictures, put like all new
Yeah.
stuff.
Popping?
I extended all my filters.
Yeah.
And one of my friends was like, you just have to swipe. Like just swipe right on
Yeah.
whoever like has a picture and you don't know. So I did that. I had like so many guys messaging. None of them like went anywhere, but it the problem is I don't get notifications and
That's what I'm saying because the app
then the
sucks.
guys don't get notifications either. So
Yeah.
it's like, how are you supposed to like have a conversation with anyone
It's garbage. It's
if
garbage.
nobody's getting notifications? Like at one point I was talking to like six guys. So I would just like every like so often when I was bored, I would like just go in manually and refresh it to see if I had new messages.
Yeah.
And like I did, but I
Yeah.
didn't get notifications
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah,
anyone.
yeah, yeah. That's very bad. That's like the one thing that it needs to be able to do.
Yeah, so it's good if you're bored. It's bad if you're trying to get married.
For
That's
sure. I think
that's my take on it.
yeah, I mean I'm on Hinge and Loop and I've gotten to the point like it's so crazy with Hinge. I've like seen everyone because I filtered it with certain filters, right? It's like
Yeah.
must live here and this this is a deal breaker, this is a deal whatever. And it's like you've seen everyone and I'm like, holy, I've seen everyone. I'm like what do I do?
Yeah, no, Hinge, I just get bad recommendation. I just like I don't know. I was talking to this guy who was actually like seemed kind of normal, seemed like kind of religious, seemed like he lived in my area and I was like, "Oh, okay." But then he was a terrible conversationalist. I called him out for it and he's like, "No, I'm actually interested in you." I'm like, "Okay, so maybe he just sucks at texting."
Yeah.
Then he asked me on a date. He was like, "Oh, do you want to go on a date?" And I was like, "Okay." And the this was like 2 weeks ago and our both of our schedules were just crazy. Like my schedule just happened to be crazy. I only had like a couple free nights like within 2 weeks before Rosh Hashanah. So I told him that and then he's like, "Oh, I like actually can't do any of that." Then he's like, "Oh, can you do the Sunday before Rosh Hashanah?" And I was like, "Actually, absolutely not. Like I have to cook, I have podcast recording,
Yeah.
and I'm going to a concert. Like no, I have no time to go out with you." But I was like Saturday night before I could do. So
Yeah.
we're supposed to go on a
Last night.
date. Yeah, last night. So we set this up like 2 weeks ago. After we set this up, he like is not messaging me, and I'm like, okay, like whatever. I have like no faith that this date is actually gonna happen,
Yeah.
but like whatever. I wasn't gonna make plans for last night anyways because um I had so much to do around my apartment. Like it's fine. I ended up cleaning my apartment and marinating my chicken, like that I was cooking like this morning
Yeah.
for Rosh Hashanah cooking. Like that was my original plan, anyways, of what I
Sure.
was gonna do with my Saturday night. All the time I can get helps, but so fine. So I messaged him on like Thursday. I hadn't heard from him, and I was like, "So like, is this still happening?"
Yeah.
And he didn't respond, and I was just like, "That's so
He didn't
rude." So I
respond
just
at all.
no, he didn't respond. So Friday afternoon, I unmatched him because like
By the way, to not respond, it's insane.
it's just like rude. Like you had me like block off my
No,
Saturday
it's
night.
insane. It's insane. It's more than
Like
rude.
like
It's so
you
not cool.
had me like I just told you how busy I was. You had me block out my Saturday night, which
Yeah.
by the way, if I didn't have to like clean my apartment and start on my cooking, like I might have made other plans. Like Shabbat is starting to end early now.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. I
if I
just
didn't
yeah, it's
and I'm
not
just
nice.
like that's so rude. So I
Yeah.
unmatched him and he better hope he doesn't run into me. He lives in my neighborhood.
Do you
So
like do you see a lot of the same do you see a lot of people you know on the apps because you're like because you know so many people?
yeah, yes and no. Like I do see people I know and then I just like don't I
Sure.
like swipe left, whatever. Um but there are I mean, I'm in New York, so for every like 10 people I know, there's another 30 people I don't know. Like
Sure.
even yesterday when I was trying to advertise and network, like
Yeah.
I was talking to so many people. I was like, "Oh, do you live like in my community?" Because I was like networking. My friend is like running. They do like a really nice young professionals Yom Kippur.
Hmm.
So that's what the collab was. So he was like,
Yeah.
get people to sign up for Yom Kippur. So that's how I started. I would go up to like a group of people talking. I was like, "Hi, do you live in this area?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, hi. Like, do you have Yom Kippur plans?" But like all these people I have never seen before. And it could be like we're recording this, it's September. A bunch of new people move in throughout the summer and at the end of the summer. But also like there are just pockets of people who don't do the same like social things that I do. Like they might
Hmm.
not go to shul. They
Sure.
might not go to the park. They might not like I think I have a pretty diverse network of friends that I do Shabbat meals with, but at the end of the day, like it's people I know and who know each other, and
Yeah.
there are always going to be people who I don't know. There's just like so many
Yeah,
people.
especially in a huge place like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it does give me hope that there are people I haven't met,
Yeah.
but
Why do you hate the shotgun thing? You mentioned that earlier. You said you're not a fan.
I'm not a fan because I just think shotguns, first of all, I think nowadays too many people are not in it for the right reasons. And I think a lot of these shotguns just want money.
Mm.
And like
That part is a little like sus the money thing. I mean, I get it. I like I there's
I
this
don't support it.
There's this group I'm in called it's a Chabad something. This woman
Oh yeah,
Dahlia.
yeah. I'm
Do you
in
know?
it. Oh, I love Dahlia. I'm trying to get her
Dude,
on the
Dahlia is
podcast.
she's an animal. She
I
like
love Dahlia.
she is
I'm obsessed with
nonstop.
her.
I want to give her money because of how hard she worked. Like it
My
makes sense.
my friends and I are like obsessed with her. Not
Yeah.
in a way of like, oh my God, we're fangirls, but like we're so interested in like who
No,
she is as
same.
a person.
I want to know like who she is. If I would
I
love to
don't
if you get her on the pod, I'd love to
I
know that.
asked her and she doesn't want to. She's like, I don't want people to come up to me in the street. But honestly, like I want to know everything about her. I want to know everything
Same,
about like why
same,
she does
same.
this group. She's
Yeah,
hilarious. Also, like I've like talked about like whenever I message her when I'm interested, she's posted me before.
yeah.
Uh, I've gone out. I went out with the guy from the guy that I told the story about. I went out with from that group. I told
Smarty
her,
boy.
yeah, I told her all the things he did wrong. He also lied about like he lied about his
Yikes,
age. He lied about his height.
yikes,
He lied.
yikes.
So I told her I was like, "Yo," and then there was a different guy I like matched with that ghosted me. So I told she's very big on not ghosting.
She no,
So I
I love that she like kicks people out of the group if they're like
yeah, I told
break
her
the
he
rules.
ghosted. I told her he
Yeah,
ghosted me. And I
she's got really good rules.
yeah, she's great. I love her,
Yeah,
but
big fan of Dahlia.
but I think like the matchmakers on Saw You at Sinai, and again they're volunteer, but
Yeah,
I just or other matchmakers who like just want to take your money and like make these programs and I just I've talked to very few matchmakers who I actually feel like have good intentions.
right. They like actually care about you and like
Yeah, and
yeah,
it might be different from a male perspective because as we spoke about before, I do think shotguns and matchmakers are some of the people reiterating men's bad behavior.
sure.
And so that I don't like as well. So it might be a different experience for men and women. But as a woman in the Orthodox dating world, I just don't. I've never met a matchmaker who I genuinely think has my best interest
That's
in
fair.
mind. And like
Yeah,
they're not. I'll give them what I'm looking for, and like they'll still send me a special needs guy. And it's like, okay, like
right,
I don't know what you didn't understand about
right.
this,
What was yeah, yeah. Wait,
or
I have a
like
question. What's if someone told you tomorrow or today, whatever, and they were like, "Hey, I have this shotgun that will guarantee you to find your person and you'll be married within X amount of time and you're gonna be happy." What amount of money would you pay for that? If they were like, it costs X amount of dollars. I would probably I'd probably pay like 15 grand for that.
here's the problem.
Yeah. I just thought it was on the
I
spot, by the way.
I'm very skeptical, and even if you told me it was a guarantee, I wouldn't believe it.
Fine, but take reality out of the situation.
I would
Pretend
drop
people,
I would drop a good amount of money.
yeah.
I don't know a number, but like she could probably say a number and I would pay it. But also at the end of the day, I had another guest ask me like if I'd rather have $1 billion or the love of my life, I would choose the $1 billion.
I mean, at least you're
So
honest.
yeah, I mean there's a lot of things I could do with $1 billion. What do I need a husband for if I have $1 billion?
Amen, sister.
But no, in the reality of life, I I'm willing if a Shad Khan sets me up with someone, I'm still open minded. Like, okay, I deleted Why You Connect, saw you at time. I had them
Yeah,
take me off there. I just have
yeah.
mental trauma from it. But
You probably
at the
talked to my mom. No, I'm just kidding.
at the end of the day, if a matchmaker is how I meet my husband, I'm gonna pay that matchmaker whatever money is owed. Like I believe in giving
Mm,
credit where credit is due, and I will do that. And I'm still open minded to these matchmakers. I'm still in these groups. I'm still doing these things.
yeah,
Um, I just don't like them, and I don't like that they're out there. I mean, it does say in the Torah that like someone who makes a match should get paid money. I
right.
don't remember the exact source or the exact place or the exact amount, but
Baba
okay,
Basra
yeah,
or something.
so
Okay,
like
yeah,
you should do it and I will do it if that's how it happens. I
yeah.
just don't like the modern day workings of it.
I
That's
feel you 100%.
yeah. Okay. David, do you have any other stories or anything else you want to share before we get to the wrap up segment?
Um, One just popped in my mind. We'll do a super quick story and then
No, it's
let's
fine.
call it.
Okay.
There was. Have you ever done the Corona Crush thing, the speed dating?
Oh yes, Corona Crush is my sponsor.
That's right. It is them who does the speed dating thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I've done that a few times, and one time there was one time where I like matched with a girl, and I was like, wow, like we had a good conversation. You know, it's only like a 10-minute window to have a conversation, so it's pretty quick, or it's even shorter or something, whatever. And the next day, it tells you, hey, you both matched. Here's her phone number. Reach out to her, right? So I reached out to her, and I was like, hey, this is David from Corona Crush, and she like didn't respond for a while, and then she was like, "Hey, sorry, I was working, you know." And then I was like, "Hey, like we already talked on the phone, like we already FaceTimed, like basically that was our first thing." So like I was like, "Would you be down to just like set up another call, like as soon as possible, whatever?" And then she totally ghosted me. I never heard from her again, and I think I sent like two other like, "Hey, like did that go through? Like am I losing? Like am I crazy? Like whatever." And she didn't respond. And then I don't know, a year goes by or something, and we matched on what's it called? Saw You at Sinai through my mom, and I didn't even recognize that it was her because it was such a short interaction and whatever. So when I get the phone number on Saw You at Sinai, I go to text her, and I didn't have her saved, but the conversation popped up, and I was like, "Oh, this is the girl that ghosted me from Corona Crush," and I forgot what I wrote, but I wrote something like "second time's a charm" or something, you know, and like and she did not respond. And then I sent like a follow-up text and she did not respond. So then I was like I was like livid at that point. I was like to ghost me twice is crazy. After also Saw You at Sinai is like such a like arduous
Yeah.
process of like matching that like if you match with someone like you should minimum so like maybe she was embarrassed, maybe she saw that it was like she had ghosted me in the I don't know what was going through her head, but she didn't respond again. And I had my mom, I was like, yo, reach out to the shotgun and let her know that this girl sucks. I was like, just let her know that like exactly the situation, what happened. And then my mom went back and forth with the shotgun and like my mom would like run it by me, like, what do you want me to say? And I was like, just say this and that. And like she went back and forth with the shotgun, long story short, just being like, hey, like this girl sucks. This is what happened before. She ghosted me. And the shotgun's like, no, just reach out to her again. And we sent her a screenshot that we did reach out again. And she's like, let me talk to her. And then she goes, the shotgun goes, she's really busy, but she's available this night and this night. I'm like, bro, I'm not messaging
Yeah.
a shotgun to schedule a date with a girl who gave me her number. Like that feels insane.
Yeah.
And who ghosted me twice. So she's like, just reach out to her one more time. I was like, absolutely not. I was like, this is not a thing.
Wait, that's actually I hate when people do that. It's just say you're not interested.
Yeah.
Communicate. Like,
But obviously you are interested if you matched with me again, like, right? Or am I crazy? Like,
yeah.
yeah,
It's just like weird. I don't know.
weird.
I had the opposite. I talked to a guy probably from J Swipe. Like this was a few summers ago.
Yeah.
2 summers ago. I talked to a boy on J Swipe. Things got weird. I ended up like telling him I'm not interested. Like he was just like being weird and I'm like, "Okay, I'm not interested." Then I got him on a speed dating. It was probably Corona Crush. Um I got him on a speed dating. We matched. I didn't realize it was him. Like I had no idea. But when he got my number, he texted me and he's like, "Oh shoot, I messed up." Cuz then like we both
Yeah.
had the text history from 2
Yeah.
years ago and he's like, "Can I have a second chance? Can we start fresh?" I was in a bad like place. I was like, "Okay, fine." Cuz
Hmm.
we had a good 7 minute speed date, like
Sure.
fine. He ended up like not being serious about anything and kind of ghosting me and I was just like, "Yeah, dude, like let's not do this again."
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But it is funny like all these people like I had that with a podcast guest actually. Like someone sent me a podcast guest like that I meet people through very different means.
Yeah.
Um but one of my it was a mutual friend with he like we have a mutual friend and they sent me someone to be a guest on my podcast and I went to send a message and I had a whole conversation history with them. I think we had like matched on a dating app during
Oh,
COVID.
wow.
It was fine. It was nothing
Yeah.
spicy. Like
Yeah.
it just kind of like we talked for like a day and then it kind of fell off.
Sure.
Like one of those. So it was like, oh, but this is funny. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a small world. And listen, don't ghost people.
No,
Everyone,
it's
just say
so,
you're not interested.
yeah, it's so crazy to do.
It's so rude.
Yeah.
Like, just say you're not interested and be done.
I guess based on what you said, I'm a little guilty for not messaging that one girl, but that was like again, that was like a mutual, neither of us message each other, but that's very different than like a full blown like ghosting is crazy.
Yeah. But I
Like someone
think,
reaching out to you and then you just ignoring it is crazy to me.
yeah, like that stupid guy, but it's fine. I unmatched him on Hinge, and if I ever see him in my neighborhood, I will call him out in person because I'm ruthless and I will do that. And people should be afraid. I mean, not that afraid. I'm not evil. I'm not going to say his name on the podcast.
Yeah.
But no, I call people out all the time, and I'm not afraid of that. Um, don't be afraid to date me, everybody. I I can be crazy, but I am usually normal. No, if only there are so many guys I wish I could. If I was actually crazy, I would call their names first and last
It's like
on the
that
podcast.
that app that came out where everyone was like,
The
"Don't date
T
this guy."
app.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the problem was I downloaded the T app and it wouldn't let me make a profile. Like you had to like verify it with a picture like to make sure you're a woman.
Yeah.
Sorry if this is like I'm giving away secret information. I have no idea what's in the app because they never let me make a profile. And
Damn.
I think my phone is just I need a new phone. And for some reason it just like wouldn't like take a picture that was like good enough for them.
That's crazy.
Like I am a woman and I look very much like a woman. I think it was just like my camera, my phone. So I got frustrated and I just deleted the app because I needed the space on my phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish I could do. I would be the number one slanderer.
You
Not
would crush
actually.
you would crush T.
Not actually. Like I'm in we have like there are groups like are we dating the same guy in New York City?
Oh, really? That's really funny.
Yeah, like I've never posted it. Thank God I don't like my worst experiences have been like guys ghosting me, guys not being nice, like
Wait,
all
is Are We
this.
Dating the Same Guy literally women just being like, "Here's who I'm dating. Is anyone else dating him?"
Yeah, sometimes.
Wow, that's
No,
crazy.
sometimes it's like warnings about guys. Like there are really dangerous guys out there who do really bad things.
Sure.
And it's funny, like I have seen guys who I've either gone out with or matched with and talked to. Like I really recently actually I had been talking to this guy on a dating app. Nothing went anywhere. Like it was fun. I wasn't serious. He wasn't religious. Sometimes listen, sometimes I'll match with guys who aren't religious for
Yeah.
entertainment and
Yeah.
like okay, maybe I'm guilty of that. Maybe I know in my mind I'm never actually going to go. But like if they asked me on a date, like maybe I would go. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
You never actually know what's going to happen. I keep an open mind, but usually it's just out of boredom.
Yeah.
And but anyway, this guy was like not a good conversationalist and it kind of just like fell off. Then I called him out for it. I was like, okay, whatever, goodbye. Then I saw him posted on Are We Dating the Same Guy? And apparently he like sexually assaulted a girl and I'm like, okay, dodged a bullet.
Oh
Um
boy.
yeah, so and then
Not good.
but also like the girl who posted it, then there were comments of other women that he had done the same thing to. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
okay, okay, we're good.
That's
We're
that
safe.
that's
This
why
is
that
good.
app exists or that group chat.
Yeah, and like okay, a lot of guys just suck and ghost women, and I'm sure a lot of girls suck too. But like
Yeah.
it is helpful for when people are dangerous
Yeah. For
or
sure.
actively married and cheating. But
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, anyways, David, let's get into our wrap-up segments. So, we've been giving advice, we've been chatting, but can you give me and my listeners one piece of dating advice?
Yeah. Let your mom run your. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's so cliche, and I feel like even in the 4 episodes I've heard from your podcast alone, I've probably heard this repeated or whatever. But it's really just trust your gut, and it's just like that girl reminded me how things are supposed to feel. Your gut tells you when things feel right and when things feel good, and don't let your married friends or non-married friends influence your dating to the point of like, hey, date this person that you're not excited. It's like, no, man, like I'm gonna trust my gut, and if something feels right, it feels right. So I think, yeah, trust your gut.
It's always a good one. Okay, David, and last but not least, do you have your tagline?
Yeah, I totally just thought of this on the spot. We definitely didn't workshop this, but if you're picky, things will get sticky.
Yeah.
Boom.
Listen, we love sticky situations here on Sticky Situations, but I do genuinely, all my guests, I do wish them well and I want them to get married. So, everyone, please be self aware. That's what I'll leave this episode with.
I love it. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me.
Thank you for being a guest. And Sticky Situation Nation, you'll catch me next time. Bye, everybody.